Is anyone there? Oh, it went out. Yeah, it went out on me too, guys. Sorry. This has been a mess trying to set this up today, but let's throw out all the negativity and get right to it. Hello, 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 hello. It's Stooge Talk Live with Andy P. And yes, it's just Andy P today. I was hoping to have Chandler join us to fill in for Curly G, the youngest grandson of Curly Howard of the Three Stooges, who is out of town this week. And Chandler was supposed to join us, Shem's great granddaughter, but she couldn't at the last minute. So I kind of had to scramble, figure out what else to do. I also tried to get Sandy, Shem's granddaughter, and Shem's daughter-in-law here this week. Shem's daughter-in-law knew Shem and Mo and Larry very well. And I'm going to get her on one of these days. If not next week, hopefully next month. We're going to make it happen, though. And that's coming for you. You guys could ask questions in real time for someone who actually, or to someone who actually knew the Three Stooges. So that's happening. So hello, everybody. Recordology's here. J.D. Smith, Old Soul, Steven Scott. Hiya, pal. Tom's World, Allison Tendaji. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We're kind of in a different little bit of a setup here. So I kind of want to look over here, and I don't know. Maybe I could reconfigure that. I don't like the giant laptop in the shot. I decided I'm going to have to get a Three Stooges cover or something so I could put on the back of the laptop so it can at least be in the shot. I can read what you guys are saying. And yeah. And, look. Stoogey. So until then, this is what we got to deal with. Can you guys hear me? The laptop is huge. It's actually not. It's just a super wide angle lens. Super wide angle lens that is close to the camera. So anyway, welcome to Stooge Talk Live. We're here to talk all things Three Stooges. And because I couldn't get Chandler to fill in for Curly G, I have kind of a fun thing I'm going to share with you guys that I think you're going to get a kick out of. I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to give it a go. So let's talk Stooges. Hello, everybody. Today is March 23rd. And there's a couple of things that happened on March 23rd in Stooge land. And I just thought I'd share with you some birthdays that we have, or that we had, I should say. It is Joan Crawford's birthday. Joan Crawford was born on March 23rd, 19. It looks like 19 something. I guess nobody seems to know. And of course, Joan Crawford was in the movie Dancing Ladies with the Three Stooges when they were with Ted Healy and his Three Stooges and Dancing Ladies. So today's her birthday. It's also Alex Hirschfield's birthday. Alex Hirschfield, you probably never saw anything other than a photograph. And he played Little Mo in the outtakes of, oh no, I didn't change the batteries on the camera. This is going to go out again midstream. I meant to do that before we got started. There's a lot getting ready for today. I felt like a stooge. The whole day felt very stoogey, failing all day long trying to get this thing to go. So, Christine Collins, thank you very much. Your contributions come in very handy, as you guys will learn tonight. And thank you. And actually, all the things you guys do for the channel to help support the channel. Liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing on Facebook and with your friends and other Stooge family or other Stooge fans. I'm talking too fast. Really helps the channel and helps us bring you guys stuff. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. So thank you, Christine. And thank you, everybody, for all your support, all this interaction you guys do really kind of helps us out. Obligatory mention, Andy is not Curly's grandson. Thank you, Enrique. Yes, I do need to address that. I get that a lot. One, because I play Curly, and two, I'm on Curly's grandson's channel. And lately, I think I've done more of these lives than he has just because of schedule and traveling. So I am not Curly's grandson. I'm not related to Stooges. I am just Andy P. Woo, 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 woo. Helping out to keep the Stooge legacy alive. So cheers to y'all, and thanks for joining. Where were we? 56 people, only 14 likes. That's right. Thank you, house account. Where are the likes? We need the likes. It's going to help us, as you guys are going to learn. Anyway, we're talking about Alex Hirschfield, as you guys might have seen his photograph, and he played young Mo Howard in the deleted sequence from Three Little Pigskins, where you've seen the photographs, I'm sure, for the you Stooge fans of Mo, Larry, and Curly, and they had young Mo, Larry, and Curly kids, and I'm sure you guys want to know what that scene looked like played out for the cameras, for the movie cameras, like I do. But today is his birthday. Anyway, never got to really see him on film other than a couple photographs. Looks great. Look him up if you don't know. And he passed away in Los Angeles at 63. Oh, he was young in 1991. And then finally, a big one for the Stooges. Joel Hurley. Hiya, pal. Of course, you're here. Thank you so much, Joel. You're the best. You follow me on all the channels and comment everywhere, and I do appreciate it so much. I love seeing when you pop up and interacting with you, as I do all you guys. Sue Prov, of course, Sue, you too. Miss Frankenstein, Reaper Crew, Jessica Mendoza. Obviously, Jessica, I knew you'd be here. Thank you for joining us again. So the last one, last birthday we have today. Oh, wait a minute. Why is this? Oh, no, he passed away today. Oh, he passed away today in 1970 in Calabasas, California. At 75 years old, Three Stooges director Del Lord. And Del Lord, man, for those of you who don't know, Pop Goes the Easel, Uncivil Warriors, Pardon My Scotch, Hoi Polloi, Three Little Beers, Movie Maniacs, False Alarms, Whoops, I'm an Indian, Dizzy Doctors, Three Dumb Clucks, Goofs and Saddles, Cash and Carry, The Sitter Downers, Termites in 1938, We Mean Monsieur, Healthy, Wealthy, and Dumb, Not Guilty Enough, Home on the Range. Oh, those are Shemp Howard solos. He did 2 Shemp Howard solos. Back to the Three Stooges, Three Little So-and-Sos, We Want Our Mummy, classic, A Ducking They Did Go. Yes, We Have No Bonanzas. A Plumbing We Will Go. I mean, come on. It doesn't really get much better than that. Boobs and Woods, How High Is Up, No Sense Is No Feeling, Dutiful But Dumb, All the World's a Stooge, An Ache in Every Steak, In the Sweet Pie and Pie, Some More Samoa, Cactus Makes Perfect, Matrophony, Even As I Owe You, They Stooge to Conga, Dizzy Detective, Spook Louder, Three Little Twerps. Woo woo, that's not right. He's a producer. Oh, now I'm just reading. I didn't look. Okay. When it got to, I'm sorry, guys. After Yes, We Got No Bonanzas, I'm just reading off. Oh, this got really messy here. All this work I did, and I. Anyway, you get the idea. He definitely didn't direct Three Little Twerps. Oh my goodness, Jimmy, how are you, buddy? You, Jimmy, of course, always great to see you. I love you coming in. Thank you so much. Extremely generous and extremely grateful for you guys. The Magic So-Called Kauai, the Three Stooges, yes. So anyway, what are we here to talk about today? Well, we're going to start with a confession. A Three Stooges confession. And I don't know how else to put this, but I'm just going to admit this. I have a problem. I have an addiction, a bad addiction. And my addiction, I hope you guys are going to enjoy. Because part of my addiction, Three Stooges wise, is Three Stooges screenplays. I'm kind of obsessed. And they come up on market from time to time. Usually, they started coming up on market because of the great Mo Howard auction that happened. I believe it was in 2019, where Mo's daughter, Joan, just decided to sell everything. And a lot of these scripts got out there, and people bought them and then resold them and re-auctioned them. And they come up from time to time, and I got a problem. Because there's not much outside of watching the Stooges that give me greater joy in Stooge land than reading the original screenplays from the filmmakers behind the Three Stooges and what the Stooges actually read and were going to perform, and then the differences between the screenplays and what ended up on screen. So before I jump into that, we got a couple people. Alfred Hawthorne Hill. Thank you, Alfred. Well, being as there's no place around a place, I reckon this must be the place. Yeah, where were you? You missed a video last time. Happy to see you too. Thank you very much. Kate Fabian, thank you. I completely forgot that George Lucas referenced the Stooges in Star Wars, The Phantom Menace at the beginning of the pod race. Wait, where? I don't remember that. All right, Kate Fabian. Right, does anyone know? Jamie, you don't see it as a bad thing. Yeah. Spook Louder. Great short. So anyway, not too long ago, it's been a little difficult around Hollywood land lately, as you guys know, the economy hasn't been really fantastic, and the show I was on last year got canceled, and I, haven't worked too much since then, so I've been scraping around. And yet, there was a Three Stooges auction for a couple screenplays, and they were going, at least opening bids were really low. I mean, like $200. And I was like, oh, this is bad timing. Do I do this? Do I try? And I'm like, well, I can't let it go for that, right? And it always seems to be me and one other person. So if you're the other person that's bidding against me on these screenplays, let's get together, pick which ones you want to bid on and which ones I want, and we can save us some money, right? You bid on this one, I bid on this one, we keep it low. And the reason I want them is, as much as I love to collect them or whatever, that's not why I want them. I want to share them. I want to read them. I want to learn from them, and I want to share them with you guys, right? Now that I have it, right, I'm happy to sell it, get it back up, get a fraction of the money back, or it'd be great to get it all back. But if I can't, especially since times are tough, I at least want to be able to share it with you guys. And as a screenwriter myself, for those of you who don't know, I am a screenwriter and a filmmaker. In fact, I got the premiere of my first movie coming out, first movie I wrote that got made into a film, coming out at the Sun Valley Film Festival in Sun Valley, Idaho, next Sunday, April 2nd. It's premiering. It stars Letitia Wright from Black Panther and Jamie Bell from Tintin and Billy Elliot, Michael K. Williams, and I believe turned out to be his last role. He was from The Wire and Boardwalk Empire. Jeffrey Donovan from Law and Order, and Brett Gelman from Stranger Things. And one of the reasons I mention it is because it's a very serious Western. However, for those of you in the know, I got some Three Stooges-y things slipped in there. So look it up on IMDb. It's called Surrounded. And see if you can spot it. If not, maybe you'll spot it when you watch the movie. Sue Prav, a small part for the script. What do you want? What do you mean? A small part for the script. I'm not sure what you mean there, Sue. Thank you, Joel. Congratulations. Is that on eBay? No, not yet. There are some up on eBay. Anyway, so there was this auction. And one of the scripts that came up was Three Little Twerps. Now, this is not one that a lot of people necessarily talk about. But it is classic Three Stooges. And it's so funny. And there's so many great moments. And it's one of my favorite Larry moments. And I had to know if it was scripted or not. I had to know how certain things were scripted. You watch it and it just feels so made up. They're so good. It doesn't feel like the things that you think were written. Wait, how would I put this? It doesn't feel like it feels like so much of it is not written, that they're just in there kind of playing. And it's pretty crazy how much of it is scripted. And then the things that you thought might have been scripted were not. So a couple scripts were up. And this one was up, and it was up for like $200. And I said, I got to bid on it. And I should have waited. And I bid on it. And I didn't tell anybody, because if I told anybody, by the way, Brad doesn't know about this, he would be really angry at me. Chandler would be really angry at me. My family, my friends, because oh, we'll get to this. So I had a bid. I just had a bid. And so I bid. And I was a high bidder. Like, it was just a couple $100. And I'm like, oh, and then somebody outbid me a couple of days later. And I'm like, no, nobody's going to outbid me for that script. I'm not letting it go for $400. So then I bid again. And then I got outbid a couple of days later. Oh, what do? I do not have the ability to pay for this thing if it happens, right? But I really wanted it. I really wanted to read it. And I really wanted to talk about it with you guys. So I waited until the very last minute. And by the way, there was a couple other scripts up too. And I can't remember which ones. And I may have bid on those too. But this is the one I kind of zeroed in on. And so at the last minute, I threw a bid in and I won. And then I was in real trouble, because then I had to pay for it. Well, I figured it out, but it was kind of a mess. So I need you guys to really support this video. Like it, keep commenting, share it with people, because I need to justify that I bought this. And then I can put it up. I put it back up and let some fan get it. So I won it. And then I come to find out after that, there was another auction with a different auction house, and a bunch of Three Stooges scripts were up. And I don't think they all sold. And they went for their starting bids were really low. No, just not in a position to do that. So one thing at a time. But in the meantime, here we go. Owned by Mo Howard himself, the final draft version of the Three Stooges script, Three Little Twerps. Now, Sue Bravo, small thank you, Sue. Thank you very much, Sue. And how much? All right. It came out to with the buy, there's like a buyer's premium in the auction. It came out to be about $900. Can you believe I did this? Oh, Jolly Josh Sussman, everybody. You might recognize Jolly Josh. Thank you. It is a treasure. It is a treasure. And what's even more of a treasure is the stuff that's in it. I was really tired last week, so I fell asleep. Book of Trivia cinematographer Benjamin Klein worked on 2 episodes of The Munsters. I hope you can get all the scripts. I know, me too. Jolly Josh. Oh, you're super sweet. That right there is why I don't mess with eBay auctions. I know. Me too. I'd rather just buy without having to bid on it. It's stressful. And it wasn't an eBay auction. It was like one of these other main auction houses. So it was, you get it for $600, and then they charge you like a 30% premium, and it ends up being $900, which that's where it was with taxes and shipping and insurance and everything. And it was a disaster, and nobody knew. I literally did not tell a single soul until right now. Now, luckily, most of my friends and family don't really watch this, so hopefully I don't get busted for it. Oh, let's see. I like and share all the time. Yes, you do. Jamie, you do. Thank you very much. And Jolly Josh. Everybody give Jolly Josh a follow. You might recognize him. He also, we did a little bit with him talking about being Larry. So you guys might recognize him from some of our other videos. The Bro Loves the Munsters and the Three Stooges. I worked for Frank Marshall, who produced Indiana Jones and The Sixth Sense and The Bourne Identities, and his wife, Kathleen Kennedy, now runs Lucasfilm for Disney. And Frank Marshall's father wrote the theme song to The Munsters. Little trivia for you. You hit the like. Yes, let's keep hitting the likes. Okay, so here we go. Anyway, it's really delicate. What's great about it is you can see, I don't know if you can tell. I got a scan of the cover, and I'm going to post it. So there's Mo Howard wrote his name on it. So he held this in his hand. He held this in his hand. The Three Little Twerps, you haven't seen it in years. I know. My favorite line, or one of my favorite lines that Larry ever did, was when they're putting up a billboard and he takes the brush and it hits it hits Mo in the face, and he turns around and looks like he's got a beard, right? And Larry turns around and is like, "Beat it, Grandpa. We ain't got no time for kibitzes." And I don't know why I find it funny, but I find it so funny, and it feels so in Larry's character that when Mo's not around, that this is how he kind of behaves, and he's just kind of, takes his work very seriously, and he just says the funniest things. And I was dying to know if that was scripted, and it was, which is crazy because it felt like he just blurted it out, which is the genius of these guys. So, what do you guys think is if I read the script and we read it a couple pages at a time and then we watch the scene and we compare it? That's what I'd like to do tonight. So, you guys up for that? And the reason I brought these little mugs and these statues, because originally when I was going to perform all the parts, I was going to swap the hat. So when I'm like Larry, I was going to put on the Larry hat. "Hey, beat it, Grandpa. I ain't got no time for kibitzes." And then curl it. And then Mo, "Hey, shut up, you." But I feel like I'm never going to be able to do it. So I thought maybe I could just touch. If Mo's line, Larry's line, and Curly's line, right? "Oh, you enjoyed your high school vlog that you uploaded. I'm surprised you didn't get expelled." I know. Ooh, thank you. Cute then. Woo-woo. Yeah, for those who don't know, on my channel, Andy Pagana 2, T-O-O, I uploaded a video yesterday that I shot in 1991 in high school last night. So for those of you who want to reminisce of what it was like back in the day, go check it out. So very careful. It's very fragile, the script. So I scanned it and I made a copy of it, and I spent all day doing this very delicately so I could read it. Andy, do you have the Blu-ray Stooge shorts? No. Wait, what Blu-ray Stooge shorts? The whole series? Did that come out today? Andy with a bowl cut. You like that? The Mo bowl cut? All right, you should have shaved. Hey, now quiet. We're going to do a little reading. You're going to learn something today. So keep your mouth shut. I'll give you one of these. I'll give you one of these. I can't do it like Dermot can. Is Dermot out there? Shut up, you. Oh, sold to the man with the platoon haircut. Where the Stooge is allowed to improvise for their shorts. Improve. Yeah, they did. I believe they did a lot. Jessica, by the way, Shemp is great. And you can see definitely they worked things out. There's definitely bits that were probably too difficult to do at the time, or they reworked it. And as I started going through this script, you like when I say "shut up, you"? It's about the best I could do of my Mo. Thank you. This is a good Mo impression. You could out Mo on Dermot someday. No, I can never out Mo Dermot. It is a tremendous honor just to be in the script presence. I mean, I literally, when I first got this, I just kind of sat there and got really teary. I just held it. And you look at it. I mean, Mo held this in his hand and he read the script. And then he didn't make many notes in this version. And this is the final draft. And I'd love to know what the difference between the first draft is and how much of a difference there was. But yeah, there is something so beautiful and magical about this, knowing that this was his. And I think he took his job real seriously. And when you read these scripts, a lot of times I love to read scripts. And a lot of times you read scripts and you see the movie and the script's so much better. It's like, why didn't they do that in the movie? And there's a million reasons why they didn't. And there's so many times the scripts are better than the movies. And there's things in these scripts a lot of times that were funny. But I never find that the scripts are better than the shorts. And that's a testament, obviously, to the Stooges and how funny, how great they were. Dermot has a scowl. Yeah, Dermot's perfect. Is Dermot supposed to join us? I don't know where he is. It's still early there. It might be 6 a.m. his time out in Abu Dhabi. Listen, didn't Curly improvise a lot of his stuff when he would forget his lines? That's what Mo claimed, that he would just drop to the floor and spin around when he couldn't remember his lines. It's weird because the more reading I do, and now granted, it's a handful. I mean, he made what, 98 shorts, so I haven't gotten through a 10th of the scripts that he was in, but it just doesn't feel like that to me. It feels like Curly was really professional and he knew what he was doing, and he just expanded upon what he was doing. He seems pretty on, but that's what Mo claimed on the Mike Douglas show, I believe, and maybe some other places. Okay, Joel, thank you. The Blu-ray is HD 720, 1934 to 1959. All of them? When did this come out? Does anyone else have this? Joel, I'm going to look this up. Thank you for letting me know. That is Stooge news I did not have. I did read Mo Howard's autobiography. For those of you who haven't, it's a must read. It's great. It's great. All right, so what do you think? Are we doing it? We're going to read the three little twerps now. Yeah. I'm going to slide out of here for a second because I'm going to move this out and we're going to watch it and read it a little bit at a time. Woo, 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 woo. So here we go. Whoop. Aha! Hiding the TV. Can you guys see that? There we go. Ah, we got a reflection on here we don't want. Might be the best I can do, guys. Whoops. Oh, is it gonna work? One of these days, we got to figure out a better way to do this, right? Where it's like picture in picture. I promise you, I'm going to make that happen. Let's see. Alfred, I had a dream a couple months ago where I met and talked with Mo and Curly. I felt like it was really them. Also, if you saw the ghost of one of them, what would you say to them? Oh, boy, that's an interesting question. I've never thought about that. Thank you. I think I would just say thank you. Is this on? Oh, here we go. You gotta leave, Jim? The blacked out logo. Oh, yeah, that's from a shoot. Woo woo, is this it? Now it's interesting that the script actually says Del Lord director, but it was directed by Harry Edwards. Now, for those of you who don't know, Harry Edwards, also, we mentioned this in Matrimony. Harry Edwards was a director that the Three Stooges kind of really didn't like working with. He ended up getting fired, and the Three Stooges refused to work with him. After 3 shorts, I think, he also directed Matrimony. It just took too long, and I think he was a bit of an alcoholic. So let's set the stage. This is, the script is final July 15th, 1942. But here's The Three Little Twerps is a 1943 subject by director Harry Edwards, starring the Three Stooges. It's the 71st short. They're 71st, and they're still going so strong. It's still so funny. It was filmed August 3rd through the 7th in 1942. So, wow, that's right after the script. 2 weeks later, it was the 8th of 16 Stooge shorts with the word 3 in the title. It was the second to last Stooge film directed by Harry Edwards, who was an alcoholic. It was plagued with the reputation of Columbia Pictures as their worst director. And so that's what we got. But it didn't come out till 1943, and it is on this collection, The Three Stooges, Volume 4. Volume 4. Is it? Volume 3. Where? Volume 4. Okay, here we go. Was this before or after Crash Goes the Hash? Good question. We have to look that up. Okay, so I'm going to read through, and then we'll watch what happens. Stooge number 551. Billboard medium long shot. Running across the top of the billboard is a top streamer of a poster. Herman's Great Combined Shows. The Stooges, in caps and overalls, are busily pasting up the rest of a typical Circus 224 sheet. Larry, at the extreme left, is unwinding the rolled-up poster sideways towards the right as Mo slaps paste on the billboard ahead of him. Curly, at the extreme right, is jabbing a long-handled scraper back and forth as he removes a portion of the old poster. Mo, smoothing down the rolled-up poster with a short-handled paintbrush, addresses the others. Jimmy, oh my goodness, you're amazing. Thank you. Woo, woo, woo. Oh. Snap it up, you twerps. The boss will be here any minute, and this is one job we're going to do right. Curly, check. Larry, check. Close shot Larry, looking at the poster behind him, which shows a girl performing in her tights. With one finger on his left hand, he scratches the girl's cheek and at the same time allows a long-handled paste brush in his right hand to tilt over out of the scene. With the big brush jammed up against his chin and resembling a big set of whiskers on Mo. Pardon me. Larry turns and discovers Mo, still with the brush jammed against his chin and both hands on his hips as it continues to fry. Larry, beat it, Grandpa. We haven't got time for kibitzes. Mo angrily shoves the brush away from his face and glares at Larry, who reacts in a fright. Come here. He dips his brush in a bucket of paste. Now, Mo, I didn't know your face was there. With his back to Mo, humming to himself, he jabs a scraper back and forth. Woo, woo, woo. Close shot of Mo. The end of the scraper comes in and bops him on the back of the head, forcing his face down in a wet paintbrush. He looks up, his face dripping and burns. He turns and opens his mouth to yell at Curly when the end of the scraper comes in again and pops into his mouth. He clamps his teeth down on it. Curly tugging on the scraper, bewildered why it won't give. He turns and reacts to see Mo. Medium shot. Curly gives a heave on the scraper and pulls it out of Mo's mouth as we hear a loud pop. Mo stumbles over and bumps into Curly. What's the idea? Trying to take my tools. Why don't you use your own? I will. He gives Curly a roundhouse swipe in the face with his paintbrush, and Curly yells at the blow, sends him crashing through the billboard. Now, let's see how different that is.
The boss will be here any minute, and this is one job we're going to do right. Right. Everything all right? Right.
So already, it's like Curly does a swing it that's not scripted. All the right, boom. All added. You think on the day, made up? I bet they just went for that. Now, this was a girl in the script. This is great.
Oh, hungry, eh? How'd you like to have a carrot? How would I like to have a carrot?
What? It's completely different. I love it. I mean, who thinks of that? Here's the thing. You would think that had to be done in advance because then they would have to rig up the horse, right? To make the mouth come open, and they have to have the carrot prop on set. That's not something you just improvise easily. Here we go.
I beg your pardon. Say that, Grandpa. We got no time for kibitzes.
Can you guys hear this? So Mo in the script, I mean, it's the same, right? Pardon me. He says, I beg your pardon, which is so much more of a Mo line.
Come here. I'm sorry, Mo. I didn't know your face was there.
Same line.
I didn't know yours was there either. Go on.
That's added. Right back to the script. Oh my, the effects. Oh.
What's the idea of taking my tools? Why don't you use your own? I just want to borrow. Oh.
All right, so that's where we left off. So it doesn't end up in his mouth. It just clocks him a couple times in his face, and then Mo gives it back to him and then knocks him through it. Did they have a Foley board at the time? I think they did it. They definitely did it later. Hiya, guys. Should I go on? Should we keep going? Curly crashes through the billboard, falls on the ground. Medium shot, front of billboard. Larry runs in and points, horrified at the big hole in the billboard. Look what you did to the billboard. So what? We'll fix it. Larry shoots a look off screen. Well, you better in a hurry. Here comes the boss. Mo looks in the indicated direction and reacts. Medium shot at the curb, opposite side of the street. A roadster stops, disclosing lettering on the door. Herman's Combined Shows. Herman starts to get out of the car. Medium shot at hole in billboard. Curly starts to come through the hole when Mo and Larry quickly unwind the rolled up poster over the opening. This is the end of the roll and shows a picture of the Wild Man of Manx, a big brute with hairy body and an animal-like head. Mo hastily smooths on the poster with a brush. Close shot of Larry, examining the wild man's head with Curly's features bulging behind it. Lumpy paste. He quickly grabs up a big roller and rubs it up and down over the face. Close up a Curly behind the poster. The roller rubs up and down his nose, smashing it. He grunts and whispers. Close shot of Mo and Larry as Curly indignantly thrusts his face through the poster, replacing the head of the wild man. He barks angrily as the others react in consternation. Medium full shot. Herman strides in and glances briefly at the poster. Mo and Larry are obviously nervous. Herman, breezily. Looks pretty good, boys. That wild man's... And then he jerking his thumb over his shoulder. That wild man seems uglier every time I look at him. Close up a Curly as he burns with indignant... I relent that. Now that's a different one. I relent that. I don't think he's ever said that, has he? Full shot. Herman reacts, startled. He turns to Larry. What'd you say? Nothing. What about our pay, boss? Boys, we don't pay off in money. We give you free tickets to the circus. Brings up tickets. Here's yours and yours. He hands the tickets to Mo and Larry. Close up Curly as he burns. Where's mine? Close up Herman. He waves at Curly. You'll get yours when I... He stops short with a big delayed take. Medium full shot. Herman bellows with rage. Cheaters! Frauds! You've ruined my poster! Mo and Larry turn and tear out of the scene. Herman leaps up on a platform to get Curly, who bursts through the poster, barks in his face, and gives him two in the eyes. Herman recoils, clapping his hands to his face. Curly grabs a ticket out of his hand and runs along the platform after the others. End of the platform, medium shot. At right angles is a pair of horses supporting a plank on which is a bucket of paste at the far end. Curly steps on the overhanging end of the plank and crashes to the ground. Opposite end of plank, as it flies up, catapulting the bucket of paste in the air. Medium shot Herman. The inverted bucket drops down over his head as he lets out a yell. Close up on Herman. He pries off the bucket, disclosing his head covered with paste. He wipes it off and starts after the Stooges, screaming. Close up shot the Stooges. They look off screen, reacting in a fright. Then wheel and tear out of the scene at top speed. Curly wooing. Fade out. Now I know this is different too.
Look what you did to the poster. So what? I'll fix it.
That's pretty close.
Oh.
It's added.
Well, you better hurry. Here comes the boss.
You better hurry. Here comes the boss. So they're giving him some business to do that he wasn't scripted. Here goes Curly. This is right. How do you even envision this? Like, Larry doesn't say lumpy paste.
Well, it looked pretty good, boys. That wild man seems uglier every time I look at him.
I resemble that.
I resemble that.
No, that's my asthma. That's mine, your asthma. How about I pay, boss?
Oh,
We don't pay all
that's
the money,
added.
boys. You get free tickets to circus. Now, here's yours,
I resemble that.
and here's yours.
Hey, what about mine?
And you'll get yours from it. Cheaters, frauds, you ruined my poster.
Oh, 2 in the eyes. Okay. So now he did it on purpose, but Curly gets the bucket instead of the guy. And that's it. And he just stands there instead of runs off. Fade out. Niagara Falls. So what do you think so far? That's only page 6. Let's see what minute that is. Do we have? So 6 pages for 3 minutes. Bucket on Curly. Yeah, it's different than how it was scripted. Okay. Fade in. Circus grounds. Stock footage. Long shot. Showing milling crowds in front of various tents. Full shot at ticket window. There is a small line of people in front of the window, which is not yet open for business. Hanging up in a background are a number of slideshow posters. And off screen, we hear the sound of a calliope, barkers' voices, etc. Larry, Moe, and Curly, the latter with a large balloon, move in alongside the closed window. Larry and Curly's tickets are sticking out of their breast pockets of their coats. Group shot of the Stooges taking in the sign on the closed window, open at 1:30. Gee, I haven't been to the circus since I was in 4th grade. No. Spelled K-N-K. K-N-K for no. I'll go back. Gee, I haven't been to the circus since I was in the 4th grade. No. That was last year. I can hardly wait. Lions, tigers, and bareback riders. Oh, boy. Moe grabs Larry's ticket out of his pocket. You dimwits, we're not going to the circus. We're going to sell these tickets for eating money. You're going to spoil my day. I always get a bang out of the circus. Have your bang now. He touches the end of his lighted cigar to Curly's balloon, which explodes in Curly's face as he recoils, startled. Medium shot. Moe plucks Curly's ticket out of his pocket, holds up the 3 of them, and motions to the crowd to gather. Here you are, folks. Get your tickets. Here you are. At cut rate, $1 tickets, 75 cents. Several men immediately converge on Moe, clamoring for the tickets. Close up on Curly, burning. My ticket! He looks off screen and gets a thought. Gives Moe a goofy wave and exits. Medium close shot the ticket wagon. Curly comes in next to a small barred window, which is on the side of the ticket wagon. He looks in and reacts as he sees the ticket seller, his back turned, getting his change ready. The front window is still down. There is a large roll of tickets at the ticker seller's elbow. Curly furtively thrusts his hand through the bars and withdraws it with 1 ticket, which he has pinched off the roll. He lets out a no, and starts away, but when he stops short, as he gets another thought, he reaches in and grabs the end of the roll, then quickly measures out several lengths of clerk, like a clerk measuring a ribbon. 6 yards ought to do it. 6 yards ought to do it. No. He pinches off the streamer of tickets and hurries out of the scene. Medium shot Moe and Larry with a few people around him as Moe holds up the last ticket. Who wants the last one here, folks? $1 ticket for 75 cents. Oh, why pay 75 cents? $1 tickets for 50 cents. The crowd immediately rushes out of the scene as Moe looks after them, burning. Medium shot Curly, the crowd clamoring around him as he sells tickets right and left. Crowd, ad lib. I'll have 1, give me 6, etc. Curly, take your time, folks. There's enough for everybody. $1 ticket, 50 cents. Moe, followed by Larry, moves in alongside Curly and glares at him. I'll have 4,000 tickets. Oh, yes, sir. He does a delayed take as Moe gives him a clip and grabs the tickets away. Cut my throat, huh? Get busy, you guys. He hands hunks of tickets to the other 2, and the 3 of them set up a loud clamor as they continue to selling on all sides. Should we watch? Woo, woo, woo. Curly for president. What do you guys think? Do we like the script stuff? Did I do the right thing? Let's go to tape.
Oh, I haven't been to the circus since I got into the 4th grade.
Yeah, that was last year.
I can hardly wait.
Yeah, well, you're all wrong, Dibwits. We're not going to the circus. We're going to sell these tickets for eating money.
Oh, look. That's a great line. They cut off Larry's line. It looked like he actually said it too.
You spoiled my day. I get a bang out of a circus.
I'll have you bang now. All right, folks. Step right up and get puck race tickets. $1 tickets for 75 cents.
That's right.
All right.
My ticket.
Oh.
Oh, buddy, hand me that roll, will you, please?
Okay, so far there's no like closed ticket window, and it looks like a couple of lines were cut. But it's funny, the line of like, I haven't been to the circus in a long time since I was in 4th grade. Yeah, that was last week. That felt like such an improv line, and it was written exactly that way.
Thank you.
Oh, so now he doesn't steal it. He accidentally gets a whole bunch.
Just perfect.
Yeah, it's just perfect.
Here you are, folks. Get your tickets here. Here you are, folks. Why spend 75 cents? $1 ticket for 50 cents. Step right up. Where'd you bother me? Wait, this way, folks. With me.
Take it easy.
Step right up.
I'll give you mine, too.
All that lib.
Here you are, sir.
I'll take one.
Here you are.
Give me one of those, will you? This is a real bargain.
Hey, well, there's tickets for everybody. Don't rush me, folks.
I'll take 90 tickets.
90. Ooh, that's quite a family.
There's 4,000.
What are you trying to do? Cut my throat?
Oh, it's quite a family. You know, he just made that up on the spot. And they changed most from 4,000, which is weird. I remember reading that going, why? That's such a weird thing. 90 kind of makes more sense.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Just for you. Now get busy.
Here you are, folks.
Here you are, folks. I think you'll notice in this short too, there's a lot of times Curly doesn't do, he drops his voice. He does kind of his more normal voice than some of these moments. Who's the guy who played the ticket taker? Oh, I don't know. Andy Clyde? Was that Andy Clyde? I wasn't really paying attention. I'll have to go back and look. Curly the thief. Well, in the script, he was a thief. In this one, he accidentally took it. He kept it, but he took it. 6,000 tickets. That's quite a family. This was better as he didn't steal. Yeah. How about that giant cigar that they smoke? I know. Step right up, folks. Place your bets here. Everybody's a winner. All right. Where were we? Cutting my throat, huh? It's so funny. When I read that, I'm like, is that in the movie? It's like, what a weird. That must have been an expression from the time. And then Mo just blurts it out so naturally. It doesn't sound like it reads, which is funny about a lot of these things. They don't sound like they read. There's a different emphasis on things like that. Like that sticks out to me more as an important line than the throwaway that it actually becomes. For good or for bad, I mean, Mo, I think, performed it perfectly. Okay, let's see. Medium shot, a big burly man followed by Herman rapidly elbows his way through the crowd up towards the front line. Medium close shot Curly as a big man with Herman behind him confronts Curly. Hey, buddy, get to the end of the line. You're no different from anybody else. Oh, yes, I am. He turns the lapel of his coat, exposing a big badge. Curly reacts in a fright. Then he turns and takes a bigger reaction as he comes face to face with Herman, standing alongside the detective. Full shot. In a panic, Curly dazzles the two men with goofy waves of both hands, then gives them each a sudden clunk under the chin, staggering them. Yelling, the Stooges wheel and tear out of the scene, followed by Herman and the detective. Let's see.
Say, get to the end of the line. You're no better than anybody else.
That's so.
Yeah.
No.
Gotta go now.
It's great. Look at him make a meal out of that. Right? Like, emphasize when he pulls out that badge. You know, and then this, and then have Mo and Larry do the punch. It's great. It's great. Wow, but that's how it's written. Who knew? Lots of Stooges love from Knoxville. Thank you, Adam. Hey, Andy, Curly's a carnival barker. What? Very funny. My favorite Curly moment, calling all cars, being on the lookout for 3 photographers. They ain't in here. Oh, wait, they ain't in here. Does he? He uses his real voice in that? I got to look at that again. Okay. This is interesting. Full shot in a panic. Let's see, runs out. Close Mo and Larry at the tent. Larry and Mo streak past the tent and out of the scene. Curly run. Oh, where were we? I'm sorry, I lost the spot. Yelling, the Stooges wheel and tear out of the scene, followed by Herman and the detectives. Close shot at the tent. Larry and Mo streak past the tent and out of the scene. Curly runs in and starts past the tent, does his 1 foot pivot, and ducks through the flaps of the tent. I never in a million years would have guessed that they're actually writing where he does his 1 foot pivot. I would think that just like Curly decides to run into the tent, right? It felt like such a natural thing for Curly to do. And I guess maybe 70 something shorts in, they knew these characters so well, these writers and filmmakers, that they pictured it and they added that. And I could kind of see them adding it today if they were writing another Stooge movie or whatever. It surprised me that they were writing these moments in. They were writing moments in when Curly would yuck, yuck, right? Because it just seemed like something he would just perform however he'd want to perform. I just find that really interesting. And he does it. You'll see. He actually does the 1 foot pivot into the tent. The tent. This is a dressing room, and it is equipped with a table or two. A face with a full beard peeks over the top of the screen as Curly runs in. He skids to an abrupt stop. Pardon me, sir. Bearded figure and a woman's voice. Don't mention it. Curly reacts dumbfounded as a figure comes around the other side of the screen and discloses herself to be the bearded lady, a big Amazon type. Oh, pardon me, madam. He turns away, but the bearded lady, Effie, grabs his arm. You must be that blind date that tattooed Sadie sent over. I ain't blind and I ain't no date. He tries to tug his arm away, but Effie hangs on. Don't be shy, my little bald-headed eagle. Sit down. She pulls Curly down on a big trunk and seats herself beside him. Effie holds Curly tight beside her as he vainly struggles to get away. You remind me of my 7th husband. You remind me of a girl I knew in Detroit, but you look more like her stepfather. Oh, you're a funny man. You kill me. She grabs Curly in a big hug as we hear the sound of crunching bones. Curly yelps and pries free of the big arms. You ain't doing me any good. No, indignantly. You ain't doing me any good. Effie laughs and again squeezes him in a big hug. As one side of her bearded face mashes Curly's, he squeals protestingly, squirms out from under, and makes a leap for the entrance. Medium shot at entrance. Curly runs in and pulls the flaps aside, but recoils in fright as he sees Herman and the detective in the background with their backs turned. Curly hastily pulls the flaps together and wheels as Effie advances towards him. How about a date after the show? I never go out with a lady I've never seen. What? I never go out with a lady I've never seen. What does that mean? Does he say that? I don't think he does. Didn't Curly accidentally shoot himself in the foot as a teenager, hence the foot pivot? Yes, he did. When they lived on their farm in upstate New York, Chatham, New York, I believe, Curly did accidentally shoot himself in the foot, and Mo had to take him to the hospital. I followed that route partially, and I went to that farmhouse, and I gotta show you guys that footage. I think it was 2021. I went up and I never posted it. I went and found the house where they lived, and it looks pretty similar to the photograph still. Somebody tore down the barn. I guess the last owner who had the house. The Stooges had a barn from like the 1920s, and the new family wanted the land, and they tore down the barn. But apparently that road was a dirt road. It's still kind of here we go. It's still kind of very rural, but you could see kind of the route that Mo took him to the hospital. I think they had to go to Albany. It's interesting. So anyway, let's pick up.
Hey, let me go get him.
There it is.
Yeah. Pardon me, bud.
Pardon me, bud.
It must be the blind date tattoo Sadie sent over.
I'm not blind and I'm no date.
Don't be shy.
Not the curly voice. I'm not blind and I ain't no date.
Remind me of my 7th husband.
You remind me of a girlfriend in Detroit. But you look more like a stepfather.
But you look more like a stepfather.
Kill me.
Ah.
You're not doing me any good. Let me get out of here.
in a minute. Are you all right?
Effie. Who named her?
Effie! Effie!
Just a moment.
Well, it's about time. Come on, the crowd's waiting for you out there.
Yes.
Well, hurry up. Hurry up.
He doesn't recognize Effie.
I hope we have a big house out there, don't you? You forgot the mustache.
All right, let's go back. I love when Curly uses ribeye. Yeah, me too. Me too. I never go out with a lady. I've never seen, he says, in this, which he doesn't say that. He tries to sidestep Effie, who advances and forces him against a dressing table where she again hugs him, pinning his arms to the side. Close shot dressing table. Curly's hand fumbles around, and he comes in contact with the scissors on the table. He picks them up. Medium shot as Effie squeezes Curly in an embrace. He comes up with the shears and snips off a big hunk of her beard. She shifts her position, and he manages to snip off a hunk of beard on the other side of her face. Oh, sit down. I can work better. He pushes Effie down in the chair. Close shot, shooting behind Effie's back as Curly busily wields the clicking shears all around her face. He mums merrily as he works. So all that was cut. I wonder if they shot it. Close shot. The two, Curly and Effie, disclosing all the shrubbery snipped away except for small chin pieces like a Van Dyke. Curly looks at this and reacts. Now you look really distinguished. Effie laughs and pulls him over in another clinch. Oh, hope you don't mind if I shave. Effie struggles to kiss Curly. He tries to avoid her and at the same time grabs an electric razor and starts running it over her chin as we hear a loud whirling sound. Grounds, two shot. Herman and Detective. Herman glances at his watch. Search the tents. I got to get this show started. They exit in opposite directions. That's cut out. Dressing tent. Close shot Curly. Leaning over Effie and hiding her face as he continues applying the electric razor. He turns away and recoils, gurgling in disgust as Effie is disclosed clean-shaven, but very homely. She looks up smiling coyly. I think you look better with the beard. All right, that's pretty funny, right? That's a pretty good bit. Effie gives him a startled look, gets up and picks up a hand mirror. She sees her reflection and lets out a scream of horror as she starts to topple over in a faint. Exterior tent. Herman just arriving. Reacts to the scream. He raps on the tent post. Effie, what's wrong? Interior tent, medium shot. Curly is bending over Effie, frantically patting her cheeks and shaking her as he tries to bring her to. Hurry up, Effie. Hurry up, Effie. You're on. Curly reacts apprehensively and calls out in a falsetto. I'll be out right away. He looks around in panic, then grabs some of the beard he has cut off. Exterior tent, medium shot. Herman, alarmed, still rapping on the tent pole. Effie, come out of there, or I'm coming in. He starts to envy when the flaps part and Curly minces out of wearing a heavy improvised beard, one of Effie's bonnets, and a long dress. The dress is loose in the back. Well, it's about time. Weren't you screaming about? I saw a mouse. Can't a lady scream if she sees a mouse? He tosses his head indignantly, and then the beard flies off his face. Herman looks at him and crooks out his arm. Well, come on, you're late. Close shot. Curly takes his arm and a two start away. Suddenly, Herman pulls up with a big delayed take, whirls on Curly, and yanks off his bonnet. He sizzles. A mouse? You mean you're a rat? We'll take a break there for a second. Adam P., and I just want to say thank you for all you do and for all the joy you bring us to Susan. Thank you, Miss Frankenstein and Adam P. Love you guys. Like Edward Scissorhands, Stooge style. That's right. Yeah, it's funny. I would love to have seen that. It does look like there was other things that happened in that scene and it was heavily cut down, right? His name is not Andy, it's Adam. Who's Adam? Whose name? His name is Andy, not Adam. Curly, put down the shaver. Hi, Roger. So now, let's see. That's 14 pages into the script. And we are at 6 minutes and 46 seconds. So we're averaging about 2 pages a minute. Oh, and I think a lot of that. Now, normally, in a screenplay. It's a page a minute. But I think a lot of the length of this is because there's descriptions, all these medium shot, close to shots. You wouldn't see these in the script today. I wish all the film that was cut out of every short was found and put on DVD. Yeah, me too. Me too. I know it really would be great to see outtakes. It's just fun. It's fun to even read it because then you could imagine it. But you know what you learn is, you know, just by reading it and seeing how they read and then see how they performed. It's just you can have something in your mind and then you see it, and it's not always gonna be that. They're really good. Oh, Stooge shorts will be deleted scenes read by Andy is brilliant. I have yeah, we're gonna do some more of this stuff. I do have some more of these to do. So, and I do have some just specifically deleted scenes. So there's a whole Jules White collection at a library here, and it's got his entire collection of Three Stooges scripts, and there's a lot of stuff in those scripts that never made it into the shorts. Some of it is published in the Three Stooges Journal, which is the Three Stooges fan club. And we can pull them out from there. But I do want to go check out the Jules White collection and talk about it with you guys. I think you can't bring a camera in there. I'd love to be able to sneak one in. So, Austin, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So let's pick up. Let's keep going. Let's see. Medium 10. Herman, alarm. Still rapping on it. Oh, we did that. Okay, where'd we go? Come on, you're late. A mouse. You mean a rat. As he lunges out to grab Curly, the latter, with a quick movement, yanks the dress off and pulls it down over Herman's head and shoulders. The latter, meaning Curly. That's an interesting way to write that. As he lunges out to grab Curly, the latter, with a quick movement, meaning Curly, yanks the dress off and pulls it down over Herman's head and shoulders. Oh, I can picture that. Woo! As Herman struggles to get out of the dress, Curly wheels and tears out of the scene, woo-wooing. Woo-woo-woo. It's funny they had that. I don't know why I find that funny. A number of costumes are hanging on hooks in the background. And, another dressing tent. A number of costumes are hanging on hooks in the background. And in front of them is a wardrobe trunk. Curly tears in and makes a beeline for the trunk. Close shot trunk. Curly yanks up the lid and reacts as Mo head pops up inside the trunk. There's only room for one in here. Scram! He gives Curly 2 in the eyes as the latter yelps. The latter. Curly drops the lid, which clunks Mo on his head. Full shot. Curly wheels and makes a bolt for the entrance, but collides head-on with Larry, just rushing in. The two of them go down in a heap. They scramble to their feet as off-screen we hear Herman's voice. Get going, men! Search all the tents! Curly and Larry react in a panic and scurry around for a place to hide. Larry discovers a horse hide hanging up among the costumes. He yanks it off with a hook and shows it to Curly. Hey, we could hide in this. Yeah, I'll be the front part of the horse. Larry gives him a look. That makes me the other part. They start to get into the skin. That makes me the other part. I bet he doesn't say that.
Okay.
Oh, he steps on
Only
him.
room for one in here. Scrap.
Scram.
What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with you? Oh! Now, how often do you see Curly rip hair out of Larry's head? That's unusual, right? It's great. What's the matter with you?
Where you going, man? Search all the tents.
Someplace to hide. Come on. Hey, let's hide in this. What is it? A horse hide. Okay, I'll play the head and shoulders. You play the other part.
Oh. Larry's reaction is priceless. It's the perfect way to do that. And again, Curly's not the high-pitched voice. It's kind of more a normal voice. Woo, woo, woo. Mo Larry and cheese. No Lindbergh. Oh, this is really this is one of my favorite underrated shorts. So just like nobody talks about it, but it's just such a hoot. Medium shot trunk. Mo lifts up the lid and watches Larry and Curly in the background as they climb into the skin. Exterior tent. Full shot. Herman, with his back to the tent, is addressing 2 or 3 roustabouts armed with clubs. What's also great about reading these old scripts is you get words like roustabouts. When was the last time You read that somewhere, right? 1942. This is great. Oh, no, I'm not going to be behind. I know. Hey, Andy, I have a picture of the Three Stooges. Call me if you want to see it. Let's post it. Put it on Facebook or yeah, I do want to see it. The improv alone shows how quick-witted they really were. Legends 23, and they're still the best. Yeah. Chandler! Hello! Chandler Isaac's here. Shemp's great granddaughter. Hello. Where are you? I thought aren't you at an event? Everybody say hi to Chandler. Make sure you go follow her on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and all over the place. She was supposed to be here tonight, or we hoped she was going to be here tonight. She couldn't make it. Tell her it's okay, everybody. Give her some love. Yeah. How long did you just get here? Are you missing the script read? I'm reading a script, but it's not one that I bought on an auction that I wasn't supposed to, I promise. Andy, I know there's nothing to do with the topic, but what is your favorite Curly Joe short? Joe Besser short? Oh, it's got to be a Merry Mix-Up, I think. That's my favorite. Eduardo, that's for you. Merry Mix-Up is really funny to me. Not only am I laughing at the Stooges, but I'm also laughing at Andy when he starts laughing. Thanks. Everyone, so great to see you all. Chandler, where are you tonight that you can't be here reading a script with me? Guys, and here's the thing. If Chandler was coming, I had a different thing planned for you guys. That would have been great. So, but where is she? She's at some kind of event. She's a big influencer, guys. Check her out. She's got really great content. And I'm trying to get her more and more on YouTube. So go follow her YouTube. Let's show her some love. Woo, woo, woo. She said she was on the way. Yeah, but on the way where? Okay, back to where were we? Who knows? Annie should be hiding, ready to jump out and surprise you. Yeah, she should be, but she ain't. Yeah, Merry Mix-Up is it's a great short. So, let's see. Okay. Herman with it back to the tent is addressing 2 or 3 roustabouts armed with clubs. I want those men found. Scatter. The roustabouts tear out of the scene. The prop horse with Curly and Larry inside bolts out of the tent, smacks Herman in the back, and knocks him for a loop as he lets out a yell. Medium shot. Herman gets up, shaking his head dazedly as the prop horse, hovering over him, lets out a whinny. Herman gives the horse a dubious look, but then staggers out of the scene as the horse turns and gallops out in the other direction. Another location. Medium shot. The prop horse lopes. The prop horse lopes into the scene and comes to a stop. It looks around, then looks forward. Interior hide, close up a Curly. He addresses Larry over his shoulders. Hey, there's a couple of other real horses over there. We'll be safe with them. Medium shot. The horse lopes out of the scene. 2 shot. Herman and circus attendant in another set on the grounds. In the background is a large chopping block, in the center of which is a staple with a chain attached to it by a swivel. Off to one side is the end of a wagon with a sign on it. Lions. Danger. Continue. Joe, the circus attendant, an eccentric-looking character who wears thick glasses, is speaking. Joe. No, boss, I ain't seen nobody. Off screen, we hear a loud lion's roar, and the 2 of them glance over to the wagon. Boss, we're out of the lion meat. Well, what do you think those horses are for? He exits. Joe nods and starts out in the opposite direction. We see where this is going. Let's see how this plays out.
I want those men found. Scatter.
Roustabouts. There's the roustabouts. 3 of them.
There's a couple of horses over there. We'll be safe with them. Come on.
It's pretty close, huh?
No, boss, I ain't seen nobody. Hey, you know, we're all out of lion meat.
What do you suppose those horses are for?
He was one of the Keystone Cops. There we go.
You look like lion food.
You look like lion food.
Come with me.
The horse did the pivot.
He just lay out on the grounds.
Austin, I do check my Facebook. Yes. Chester Conklin. Yes, thank you. I spaced on his name. That was Chester Conklin. Very famous silent comedian.
Yeah, I hate to do this, but the lions have got to eat. What's being the lions got to do with us?
Larry's face is the best. All right, so let's see. We jumped up. Yeah, by the way, the guy with the mustache is Chester Conklin. Oh no. Curly. Ah. This is precariously balanced. By the way, it took me about an hour and a half just to set up this little set, figure out how to make this work. I hope it works because this has been kind of a nutty day. Yeah. Oh, he's really hot. Woo. Curly G. Yeah, pop it on Curly G or Curly's Grandson's Corner or Andy Pagana. Any of those. Woo. Okay. Where were we? It's funny, Roger. Okay. So I guess Chester Conklin was the eccentric-looking character who wears thick glasses. Joe Nod started a medium shot at the watering trough. Discloses the prop horse with the two real ones behind the trough. Joe enters and looks them over, finally picking the prop horse. Well, there ain't much meat on you. He grabs the halter on the horse and starts leading it out of the scene. Close up on Curly. Oh, boy, he's going to lead us right out of the ground. No. That was close. At the chopping block, Joe leads the prop horse into the scene and fastens the rope to a chain with a snaffle. All right, somebody got to look that up. What's a snaffle? I hate to do this, but the lions have to feed. Curly reacts puzzled. What's feeding the lions got to do with us? And you just can't write how great Larry's reaction is. Medium shot. Joe grabs up a big shotgun and takes aim. I'll shoot you right between the eyes. The prop horse lets out a loud whinny and then goes into a tantrum as Curly swings around, forcing Larry in the rear end over in front of Joe. Joe reacts angrily. Hey, do a show. Yeah. Joe grabs a big shotgun and takes aim. I'll shoot you right between the eyes. The prop horse lets out a whinny and then goes into a tantrum as Curly swings around, forcing Larry in the rear end over in front of Joe. Joe reacts angrily. The other side, consarn it! He shoves the rear end of the horse, attempting to line it up the other way, but Curly keeps forcing Larry's end in front of Joe. Joe, getting madder every minute, finally gives the horse a swift boot in the rear. Larry lunges back with his foot, smacking Joe in the stomach and knocking him for a loop as the gun flies out of his hands. Close shot of the gun as it comes down with the barrel landing upright in the dirt. The horse is rearing and plunging and cavorting around as Joe scrambles to his feet. Now I'm mad and I don't care which end I shoot. He runs over to the gun in the background. Close shot of Joe. He yanks the gun out of the ground, brings it up to his shoulders and takes a careful aim at the horse. He squeezes the trigger and the barrel starts swelling. Insert swollen barrel. As the gun goes off with a terrific explosion, mushrooming the barrel in all directions. Back to the scene. Joe, his face blackened, looks at the ruined gun in exasperation and flings it down to the ground. I ain't licked yet! He reaches down behind a post and comes in with a big broadsword, which he grimly advances. Interior hide, close up Curly as he reacts, terror-stricken. The horse rears and plunges as Joe comes up, brandishing the big sword. Now I'll give you a lesson you'll never remember. You can't kill me. They'll hang you for murder. Oh, no, they won't. Not for killing a horse. As he does a delayed take on Joe. Joe looks at the horse, bewildered. Did you say something? Curly, faintly. No. Oh, Joe. It's a good thing, because if I did, I think I was losing my mind. He lunges out with the sword, piercing the hide. The horse, of course. Let's see.
Now close your eyes and you won't feel it.
Mo right now is hiding in a. He's hiding in a trunk. All right, so the gun doesn't go flying, or is that later?
I'll get you now. Turn around there so I can shoot you right. There, that's better.
Oh, he's got to have the glasses so he can't tell that it's a fake horse.
I'll get you yet.
All right, it's a look.
Give you a lesson you'll never remember.
Uh-oh.
Are you supposed to fall down? Look out, look out, look out, look out.
You think the Stooges are in there? Oh!
What are you trying to do? Scare people to death? Come on, get out of that oil thing. Hurry up.
What? You can't write that. Oh, you can't write that. Where were we? He takes a nut. He shoots past his face. Pierce. Where were we? Joe looks at the horse bewildered. Did you say something? No, it's a good thing because if okay. Interior sword. He lunges out with the sword, piercing the hide. Interior close up Curly. The sword shoots past his face as he lets out a yell. They did it to Larry. Medium shot, dumbfounded. Joe withdraws his sword. Hey, you're supposed to fall down. That's kind of a funny line too, actually. Maybe this will do it. He takes another lunge at the horse as Curly swings around so that Larry gets it in the seat. Larry lets out a yell and leaps forward, climbing on Curly's back. Yep. He reacts bewildered, and Joe reacts bewildered and rubs his hands over his eyes. I think I need new glasses. But this'll finish you. He brings his sword up over his head and then wails it down out of the scene. Medium shot, disclosing the horse's head lopped off and lying on the ground. As Joe looks on, utterly confounded, the horse starts running around in circles. Oh, that makes sense. He's running around like a chicken with his head cut off. I didn't get that. And then he goes, "Are you a horse or a chicken?" That's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's so funny. This one makes me laugh so much. It's just like, where do they get this stuff from? It's so out there. It's so brilliant. All right, so this is, hold on. It's 21 pages and it's 10 minutes in. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm laughing too hard, guys. I'm sorry. That I just keep thinking back to that. Look at how funny this is. Like what do they do? All right, so here's a chicken with the head cut off, I guess, but it didn't really work. So they just cut to that. Oh, you know what? I bet I know what that is. One of the reasons I find it so funny because it's just so random. I bet they did it exactly how it was written. They shot that, said, "What are you, a chicken or horse or a chicken?" And then that's Curly's reaction. And they just cut out the line and just made it this random Curly doing this wacky thing. What do you guys think? I would stake my life on it, but I don't know if I would. It's not worth that much of a bet. But I'm sure that's exactly what happened and why he does that. That's so funny. Oh my goodness, that cracks me up. So here we go. We're getting close. We're on the coming down here. As Herman and the detective follow by where were we? Are you a horse or a chicken? Curly's shot prop horse. As Curly head pops out of the hollow space, he looks around. Close up Joe. He reacts with a loud scream, then keels over in a dead faint. Medium shot horse. Mo runs in alongside the horse. He gives Curly a clip. All right, what does that mean? Oh, I'm going to run out of battery. I knew it. All right, guys. Here we go. You guys can see that it says low power. Unbelievable. Okay, here we go. I got to get better at this. I need longer batteries. Okay, it's coming. Look, for those of you who are new to this is going to go to black. It's going to take about 15 seconds. So just hang tight. I'm coming right back. Yeah. Are we back? Are we doing okay? Woo, woo, woo. Was it 10 seconds? Come on. How long was it? One of these days, I will buy an adapter. I'm sure they're several $100s for this camera, right? So, oh, thank you, Chris, digital artist. Woo, woo, woo. I love watching the Stooges. Andy, do the turkey sound. Wait, now that you asked me to do it, I can't actually pull it off. Woo, 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 woo. Well, welcome back, guys. Okay, let's see. This is where Mo comes in. He gives Curly a clip. So that's got to be slang for a slap or what? Something, right? I never heard that before. What are you trying to do? Scare people to death? Come on. He and Curly turn, look off screen, and react. Medium long shot as Herman and the detective, followed by several roustabouts, run towards the Stooges, yelling. The two under the medium shot, prop horse and Mo. The two ends of the prop horse start off in opposite directions, then turn and crash into each other. Mo is nailed by one of the roustabouts as the others, along with Herman and into the detective, surround the horse and make a flying leap onto it, pinning it to the ground. Wipe 2. Let's see what happens. Woo-woo. Suprav! You're the best. Woo-woo-woo. Thank you. Where are we?
What are you trying to do? Scare people to death? Come on, get out of that oilskin. Hurry up.
Oilskin. How was it written that way?
Come on, you guys. Wait a minute. There they are. Go on, kid. Stand back. Stand back. Let him have it. Put it right behind you.
Oh. No. All right, that's
I'm going to see that you get the limit for this.
That's completely different than how it was written. Who here thinks we should make Stooge memes? Yeah, of course you should. Everything going to black is fun. Thanks, other me. Woo, woo, woo. Stooge memes should be definitely. Yeah, of course we got to make Stooge memes. Let's go, guys. Okay, here we go. We'll pick up from here. The tent is used as Herman's office. He is grimly confronting the Stooges, who are grouped before him, with the detective standing alongside. I'm going to see that you get the limit for this. Officer, take these. A uniformed circus attendant enters and plucks Herman's sleeve. I got to see her for a minute, boss. Very important. Hold these men. I'll be right back. He and the attendant step aside a few feet. Boss, what are we going to do about the Zulu spear thrower? I can't get any more volunteers for that human target act. Herman thinks a moment, then brightens. I think I could solve that problem right now. He turns back towards the others. Full shot, Herman and the attendant face the Stooges. Boys, I'm going to give you a chance. How do you like to join the circus? The Stooges look at each other and brighten. Sure things, boss. We're all good performers. We can do anything. It's ad lib, so that's all of them. Sure things, boss. Yeah, we're great performers. Yeah, we can do anything. No. It's a deal, indicating attendant. Follow Louie and he'll show you what to do. As Mo and Larry start out after Louie, Herman winks furtively at the detective. Medium shot, Herman and Curly. Curly is standing alongside of a large banner which hangs on the side of the tent. It is lettered Herman's Great Combined Shows. There is a heavy bar weighing down the base of the banner. What, just knock him dead? He grabs a banner off the wall and flings it over his shoulder in a theatrical gesture. The bar hits Herman over his head with a loud clang, and he staggers to his knees, out cold, as Curly wheels and exits. Woo, woo, woo. Let's see how that goes.
Officer, take these men.
What in the tough spot?
What's the matter?
What are we gonna do about that Zolo spear thrower? I can't get any volunteers. Could you target that?
Thank you, Soul.
I
Soul.
think they can solve the problem right now.
Boys, I'm going to give you a chance. How'd you like to join the circus?
The circus.
Oh, boy, the circus. And we're good performers, too.
I do impersonations. He's an impersonation of a wolf. Hiya, babe.
I know you don't care for that kind of stuff. Now, we do sleight of hand.
Never mind. We'll show you what to do.
That had to be all that lived, right? They made that up there. I mean, it wasn't in the script. It did say ad lib. That's probably from their act or something. But you could kind of feel like that's, especially Moe's reaction. You know, I know you don't go for that kind of stuff. Here's a sleight of hand, and then they just get cut off. That's fun. That's fun to watch. And knowing that it wasn't scripted. Woo, woo, woo! Jimmy, again? Yeah. I'm going to just send you the script, maybe. Maybe not. But thank you, Jimmy. You're the best. Guys, your support, all the support on the channel for me and Brad and all the Stooge family and friends. I just thank you so much. And thanks for hanging out and doing this with me. I was really, I almost just did a live randomly during the week just because I just wanted to chat with you guys. So, and again, I still want to plan 30 days of Stooges, which we do this every night for 30 days in a row. Are you guys in? I got to plan out kind of roughly what we're going to do. And I, Adam P., have not gone to the studio myself. But how many of you guys picked up the book? The Stooges book from the studio that we went through last week. Woo, woo. You like my shirt? Yeah. It's Vintage. All right, let's go back. Where are we?
Boys, you don't know what you're doing for us.
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, you're a honey boy.
Oh, you're a honey boy. All right. Different. Very different than the script. Curly, do your thing. That's what they probably did. Okay. Wipe 2. Well, the wipe's in here. Main tent. Long. Chris, channel 52 kid here again. Thank you for Chris for joining. About time. Chris. Oh, man. You guys are the best. Thank you. Thank you. Long shot showing various acts in progress and a grandstand in the background. Medium shot at the wide board backing, which has 2 large rings at either extremity and a heavy rope dangling from one of them. Off to one side is a large board to which is attached a number of native weapons, including several boomerangs and a bow and arrows. The 3 Stooges enter and look around elatedly. They are dressed in nondescript African native costumes with grass skirts, fancy headdress, and paint daubed on their faces. They are wearing large brass earrings. Boy, this is fun being in the circus. I wonder what kind of act we're going to do. Hey, fellas, look up. The 3 of them look up. Stock shot girl, trapeze artist. She does several swings back and forth, finally catching herself on a trapeze by her heels. The Stooges react. Boy, why don't people... Let me read that again. Boy, what some people won't do to earn a living. Herman enters and holds up both arms as he swings around to make an announcement to the grandstands. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing 3 fearless natives who will defy death by acting as human targets for the spears of the Sultan of Abu Dhabi. Off screen, we hear a loud roar of applause, which the Stooges acknowledge by bowing right and left. Close group shot, the Stooges. Suddenly, they straighten and look at each other apprehensively. What does he mean? Human targets? 2 attendants run in and force the 3 of them back against the board, quickly stretching the rope under their chins and tying it off to the other rings. They are bound tightly to the board, almost strangling. Herman enters and turns, presumably facing the grandstand. And now, in his savage splendor, the untamed Sultan of Abadaba. Let's see. Pick it up. It's worth getting, Melissa. I loved your best too, Eduardo.
I wonder what kind of neck we're going to do. I don't know. Look.
Pretty close. Yep.
Some people do to earn a living.
Oh, that was Curly's line.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing 3 fearless natives who will defy death by acting as human targets.
Is he really moving targets? I don't know.
And now in his regal splendor, the untamed Sultan of Abadaba.
Abadaba! Oh, I love these wacky moments. Oh.
For his first feat, the Sultan will hurl his razor-edged spear 1 inch over the head of the man in the middle.
No, so not too far off. Although it's not how I pictured the outfits based on the description. I like the kind of really cheap versions. Yeah, me too. See, Boogie. I probably most people here did. I think grew up watching the Stooges. It really was. We're so lucky. Okay, where were we? The Sultan, a huge native in fantastic costume and wearing a bone stuck in his nose, comes leaping and whooping from around the other side of the board as the Stooges react, terrified. 2 circus attendants putting up a big show of trying to hold the wild Sultan in check, follow behind him hanging on 2 chains extended from the back of a wide metal belt, which he wears around his waist. The Sultan does a savage dance in front of the panicky Stooges as the attendants grimly hang on to their chains. Close shot Curly. The Sultan passes Curly, then turns back and gives him almost a dirty look. Curly barks in his face. Rah! This almost drives the Sultan berserk, and the 2 attendants, with great difficulty, drag him back out of the scene. Okay, different timing, but it's there. Medium shot. Off to one side is a rack containing a number of long spears. The 2 attendants enter and bind the raging Sultan to the post by the chains extending from the back of his belt. He continues leaping up and down, screaming. The attendants duck out of the scene as Herman enters. Now, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Sultan of Abadaba, throwing his razor-edged spears at human targets. The Sultan lets out a ferocious growl and turns to grab up one of the spears. Close shot group the Stooges as they react in mortal fright. They are arranged up against the board with Curly in the middle. For his first feat, the Sultan will hurl a spear 1 inch over the heads of the men in the center. The man in the center. The Sultan draws back his arms to heave the spear close to Sultan. A wide, ornate band on his forehead slips down, covering his eyes as he hurls the spear. Close shot at board. The spear zings over Larry's head, clipping off a few feathers off his headdress as he lets out a loud yell. Ah! 2 shots, Herman and Sultan. Herman reacts a bit surprised and calls out to the crowd. A slight miscalculation, folks. The Sultan will again attempt to hurl his spear 1 inch over the head of the man in the center. Close up the Sultan. As he heaves the spear, the band again drops down over his eyes. Close up Mo. The spear whistles into the scene and goes through one of his large earrings, thudding into the board as Mo reacts, terror-stricken. He gulps and turns to Curly. Don't tell me, but is my ear still on? Close shot Sultan. He forces the band up over his eyes and angrily heaves another spear out of the scene. Close shot Curly as the spear zings into the scene and takes off his headdress, pinning it to the board. Close shot Curly. Showing a streak like a part in the middle of his head. Curly reacts in panic. Close shot Sultan, brandishing 2 spears in one hand. Another amazing feat. 2 spears at once. The Sultan heaves them out of the... I don't know what that word is. Heaves them out of the sheesh. S-C-E-H-E? What do you got? Now, scene. Nah. It's typed weird. There's a big space. The Sultan heaves him out of the scene. Close up Mo as the two spears fly in and embed themselves in the board with the handles crisscross under his chin. He reacts, yelling. The two attendants are binding a blindfold on the Sultan's eyes as Herman addresses the audience. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time before any audience, the Sultan will attempt to throw 12 spears blindfolded. Drunken talk. Schneen. I know. It's written strange. There's a big space between the C and the E. So, and there's a dot over the N, so it looked like an H. It's just, I don't know, the way it was. Remember, these were typed on typewriters. The Sultan lets out another of his terrible yells. The attendants grab up a bunch of spears and thrust them in his hands. He draws back both arms and heaves a lot of them out of the scene as we hear the thuds of the impact. Close shot Curly, his head and body completely outlined by the spears, which have missed him by a cat's whisker. Let's try that again. His head and body completely outlined by the spears, which have missed him by a cat's whisker. Several of the javelins have pierced the rope binding Curly to the board. Stock shot, the crowd applauses. Curly indignantly walks forward as severed ropes drop to the ground. He shakes his finger at the Sultan. What are you trying to do? Make a porcupine out of me? With an angry bark, he turns and starts back to the board. Let's see. Woo, woo, woo. Sheath. Now it's scene. Out of the scene. Technically, it's the shot. Out of the shot.
Another amazing feat. 2 spears.
Take it easy now, will you?
Take it easy now, will you?
First time before any audience, the Sultan will attempt to hurl 8 spears.
Oh, here we go.
One in each hand.
What are you trying to do? Make a porcupine out of me? All right. Not quite as written, but I'm sure that would have been tough to pull off in the time. What's that little hat thing? All right. Wow, it was a lot more complicated in the script. I'm out of tea. What are you trying to do? Make a porcupine out of me? With an angry bark, he turns and starts back to the board. Close shot Curly. He pulls up with a delayed take as he realizes he is free. He then turns and grabs one of the boomerangs off the weapon display. Here's where I get even. He heaves the boomerang out of the scene as we hear a loud whine. Close shot Mo. The whine coming off screen as the boomerang comes in and conks him on the back of the head. Close shot Curly, unaware of what has happened to Mo. He cackles and heaves another boomerang out of the scene. He cackles and heaves another boomerang out of the scene. Again, we hear the whine, and an instant later, the boomerang comes flying back into the scene and smacks Curly in the head. He wheels around angrily towards the Sultan. Oh, treachery, huh? He grabs at the bow, fits an arrow on a string, and lets it fly out of the scene. Close shot Sultan, turning and trying to jerk the last remaining spear out of the rack as the arrow flies in and hits him squarely in the seat. He lets out a terrific yell of rage, flexing his muscles, and with one mighty effort breaks the belt, freeing himself from the chains that bind him to the post. He starts forward angrily. Close shot Curly, aiming another arrow at the Sultan. Curly freezes in a panic, and the arrow wilts limply and drops to the ground. That's some great writing. So it's just, right? You get it? It's like, and then, woo. Like it's afraid. I love it. The three of them yell in terror. Mo, every man for himself. He and Larry tear out in one direction and Curly in the other. The Sultan runs through the scene, chasing Curly. Curly, close shot. The rope ladder. He starts clambering up the rope ladder, which is hung between the two metal uprights of a high wire tower. As Curly disappears, the Sultan runs into the scene and starts clambering up the ladder after him. So all that stuff was not in it, right? He basically just kicks him in the butt and runs to the ladder. So that's fun stuff. That would have been fun. It's funny. Now there's a lot less description, right? Just feels like a lot of action, but they're not talking about how Curly would actually react. You know, his nucks or whatever. It feels, I don't know, not lazy, but it just feels like, okay, this is what they do. Close shot Curly at the rope ladder. He starts clambering up the rope ladder, which is hung between two metal uprights of a high wire tower. As Curly disappears, the Sultan runs into the scene and starts clambering up the ladder after him. Medium, top of tower. The ladder terminates on a 3-foot platform to the opposite side of which is attached the high wire running off screen. Curly clambers up to the top of the platform and turns, looking down in terror. Close shot Curly. Curly gives a goofy wave. Try and catch me. No. He backs away, inadvertently stepping onto the high wire. Curly backpedals out of the scene onto the wire as Sultan clambers up the ladder onto the platform. Medium long shot high wire. Tent in the background. Curly still backing up on the wire and waving derisively at the Sultan on the platform. Derisively. Close shot Curly on the wire, still confidently chuckling at the Sultan. Curly turns around to walk away. He looks down and gurgles with fright for the first time he realizes his predicament. He turns, attempting to go back, but wobbles unsteadily and flails his arm, yelling as he tries to keep his equilibrium. Maha! Uh-oh. Yeah, he does break free. He's happy with himself. Reedy Creek Jammer, many thanks. This is great. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thank you. This don't look like he's trying to sell Curly love candy. Yeah, pie fights. Yeah. Here we go. You can see the wire. So it's a lot of description to read for that 15 seconds. Okay, close shot. Sultan, he looks off screen, growling in triumph, and stoops, grabs the wire in his two hands and swings it back and forth. Close shot Curly, yelling and trying to keep his balance as the wire swings back and forth. Suddenly he loses his footing and begins to topple forward. Insert as Curly's toes catch the wire. Back to scene showing Curly, a dummy, hanging from the swinging wire by his toes. Close shot Sultan. He lets out a roar of triumph and revolves the wire rapidly. Medium shot Curly, dummy, hanging onto the wire by his toes and yelling as his body goes whirling around in giant loops. Medium shot on the ground. Mo and Larry are looking up in a panic. Take it easy, kid, will you? We'll save you. He and Larry run out of the scene. Medium shot at base of the pole, showing a large paper hoop and several others behind it, leaning against a post. Mo and Larry run into the scene. A life net, come on! They grab up the hoop and tear out of the scene, disclosing several large torn ones, which the first hoop had concealed. What a great reveal. That's like silent film reveal. This is, by the way, this is hilarious. But like, watch that storytelling. It's brilliant. They didn't have the close shot of the toe.
What we do? The life net.
There we go. The life. Yeah, and there we go. Great. But perfect. You know exactly what's about to happen. Love it. That's such great storytelling and filmmaking. Visual. A life net. Come on. Let's see. Medium shot below high wire. Mo and Larry running, holding up the hoop. They turn this way and that, trying to calculate the spot of Curly's impending fall. Lego the next time around. Medium long shot Curly. Curly's body describes another giant loop that flies off the wire and drops down out of the scene, accompanied by a loud yell. No! Curly dummy drops down, crashes through the paper hoop, and goes plowing into the hole in the ground and out of sight. Two shot Mo and Larry. They look down at the hole in consternation, then look off screen and react terrified. Close shot, base of the ladder. The Sultan, yelling with rage and defiance, clambers down the ladder and starts out of the scene. Medium shot at the hole. Mo and Larry let out yells and dive headlong into the hole, disappearing from sight. As off screen we hear a loud noise like a streaming rocket. The Sultan runs up over the edge of the hole and looks down bewildered. Over the scene we hear several explosions and the sound of gunshots. Dissolve 2, medium shot at shell hole with barbed wire in background and a Chinese flag in evidence. 3 Chinese soldiers are shooting rifles over the top of the hole as is seen as we hear the whine of shells, etc. Camera pans over to a crater in the bottom of the pit. We hear Curly woo-wooing. Then he pops out, lugging a machine gun with a belt of bullets in it, followed by Mo and Larry. I can't read this last line. Save some for us, he yells. So they're in a battle. Save some of the enemy for us. Full shot. Curly shoves the muzzle of the machine gun over the top of the hole and starts firing the chattering gun as Mo feeds into the belt and Larry looks off screen through a pair of binoculars. After a burst of fire, the soldier nearest Curly turns to him and compliments him on his aim in rapid Chinese. You took the words right out of my mouth. He shakes hands with the soldier, then resumes firing the gun as we fade out at the end. Oh, let's see how it ends, because that is not how it ends. What a great, hilarious ending.
Let's go next time around, kid.
Simple. That's it, right? What did they? They had a good laugh. It's like, what are we doing? Wow, they were going to end up in World War II. Woo, woo, woo. Well, let's pan his back and shut that off and do our finals. How are we looking? That was great, guys. It was a lot of fun. Oh, my goodness. That was hilarious. So what do you guys think? What did you think of the script? And kind of from script to screen, the differences and how the Stooges performed the words as they were and ad-libbed or changed. And I'm sure it wasn't just them, right? The filmmakers, for a million reasons, they had to change stuff. I really enjoyed that. I learned so much reading those scripts and then watching the shorts. I'm so glad you guys liked it. I'm going to keep looking for scripts. There's a couple online, but they're too expensive to get right now. And I was thinking maybe I'll pop this one up for sale now that we've kind of gone through it. So I have more to share with you guys. And I'd like to also post maybe some pages from the script for you guys to read on Curly's grandson's corner on Facebook and the Curly G page. For those of you who aren't subscribed to the Curly G page on Facebook, make sure you go subscribe to that and check us out on check us out on TikTok and Instagram and my YouTube channel is Andy Pagana. We hit on my TikTok, which is basically now all Stooges, us doing the Stooges. I had 1 million likes today. 1 million likes today as they're banning TikTok, but 1 million likes. And it just goes to show you that any generation loves the Stooges. There's so many people on there that reach out. Some of these are kids. I used to watch this when I was younger. You guys are great. I used to watch you. Are you the real guys? People who just love the characters of the Stooges and don't know much about them, and we're introducing them to a whole new generation. And the response has been absolutely insane. On Instagram, this is crazy. I had 5,000 followers on Instagram for like 5 years, starting in December. And then we started posting our Three Stooges little bits or jokes that we do. And we're up to 60,000 just on mine alone. And the love for the Stooges it floors me every single day. And just having you guys to talk to and talk Stooges, I was sitting down earlier and I was just like, the amount of joy that this brings me sitting here going, oh, what am I going to plan tonight? I had something great planned with Chandler that we couldn't do, that eventually we'll do. And if Brad was here, we would have had something great planned. And this, since, I couldn't get those two, I really wanted to do something special. And I was so excited about doing this. And I wish I had 5 more hours before this thing started, because I really wanted to do a real deep dive. I mean, they did so many shorts. It's hard to keep so much of it in my memory these days. But I just absolutely love that you guys are here and that we have this great little Stooge community, and that we get to talk Stooges and hang out. And in a couple weeks, I'm going to come back doing the paintings again, and we'll do Friday night watching Stooges and doing some painting. And we got to figure out how to get Dermot on here to talk to us while we're going live. And Curly G will be back next Thursday, and then I'm gonna head to my movie premiere. Woo woo woo! So wish me luck on that. And yeah, Chandler, when we hit 1 million, you're right. She owes us an beep 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 beep. And to be honest, that's how we keep a great legacy alive. It is. You guys are the best. Andy, is Chris still coming back in May? I hope so. It kills me that he's not here. It's so good watching the Stooges together. Yeah, we got to do more of the watching. We definitely got to do more watching and talking. This is, yeah, it has been a dream to meet the Stooge relatives for me too. It's amazing, and it's just amazing what great people they are. I think if we had met under different circumstances and they had nothing to do with Stooges, we'd all be friends. So, but that was a lot of fun. My voice is going, obviously. We've been going for almost 2 hours. Jessica, Joe Besser was hilarious. He was and thank you guys. Yeah, you too, old soul. And the Brooklyn's greatest gift to humanity. We're gonna go find those locations in Brooklyn, and we're gonna show them to you guys. We're gonna tour them. Brad and I are talking about taking a trip, trying to figure out how to make that happen. Andy, do you hear a fun idea for a painting you could do? Sure. Yeah, let's do it. Let me know. Andy, where'd you get the brilliant shirt? Woo, woo, woo. This is a vintage shirt my wife sent me. Woo. I never had this when I was growing up, but this goes back. Isn't it amazing? It's nice and soft, too. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Andy. Roger, what? We're all Stooge family. That's right. We are. We are all Stooge family. We gotta get the Mo family to. We gotta connect and reach out to them. And I don't know if we've ever had Kurt on. I don't think we've ever had Kurt, Larry's great grandson. We got to get him on here too. We've done lives with him, but I think on the official Stooge channel. Paint all 6 Stooges together. Alfred, that's coming. That's coming for sure. In fact, what I was thinking, you missed the live Shem painting. That was a lot of fun. I'll do another one. I was thinking about I need like 6. I need like 6 easels because I was thinking about doing individual ones, but painting them all at one time. So 6 different paintings of the Stooges, but doing them, I do a little bit of Larry, do a little bit of Curl. But I need to figure out how to set them up and paint them all together. I would love that. I know, I love this shirt. Let's see. I know Mo's great-granddaughter is. Yeah, I just got to reach out to her. I haven't done that yet. We need to have Paul on. I know. I'd love to get Paul and Janie. We got to get Janie on too. And we're going to get Brad's mom. I don't know if she'll do a live, but we're definitely going to interview her and we'll post her. We're going to get Shem's daughter-in-law live. And I'm hoping to make that real soon. She wanted to do it last week and we couldn't make the timing work. Unfortunately, just man, that really bummed me out. And so I tried to make it work for today for you guys, and that didn't work. But we're gonna make that happen. Okay, classic painting idea. Do Curly's face as the man in the moon with a rocket poking into the eyes like a finger. That's a great idea. There is on the Shemp Instead Facebook page, somebody did Shemp's face as the man in the moon. Boy, Lumiere. I can't think of. I can't believe I'm spacing on the filmmaker's name, but that classic image. And it works so well with Shemp. I'll have to find it and post it, but it is funny. It also make a great T-shirt, I think. Yeah, I used to paint 8 full paintings in 8 hours. Let's go, John. Let's get back to it. You need to get Mo's son Paul on. I know I do, and I think he's close to me where I was in New York. I haven't reached out. I have to reach out to him. I haven't done that yet. Shemp with the Goyles, like Bradley Scrooge crowding, maybe. Yeah, that'd be fun. The 3 Stooges forever, that's for sure. Andy, I hope you keep in mind doing a picture of a happy face, Shemp playing the piano. Yep, I definitely would like to do that. I mean, it's always fun to see Shemp happy, right? I love watching the boys with real genuine smiles on their face. We're going to get that scary face mug from Spook Louder. Oh, this is on the store. I don't know why it doesn't pop up, but if you just go to the front, the YouTube page that we got, there's a store. You could click the store and it's on there. And I had a bunch of, I had like a Brighto mug and a Curly G mug, and I broke them all. I don't know if you guys watched me live break the. Actually, I think Brad broke the Brighto one. I broke the Curly G one. But yeah, I know I absolutely love this mug. I'm gonna get a T-shirt one of these days with it on. But it's on the store. And it supports the channel if you guys want. But I made this because I wanted. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Andy, for you was email the 7th Stooge. I mean, Sitka was, you know, nobody's the 7th Stooge other than the sound effects, but he's as close as you could be, right? Like, and technically he was a Stooge. They just never shot anything with him. So yeah, I guess so. He technically counts. I mean, he was cast as a Stooge. For those of you who don't know, when Larry had a stroke, he was going to play Harry, Larry's brother, and it was going to be him. Méliès, thank you. I don't know why I was saying Lumiere. I didn't even know what that meant. George Méliès is the trip to the moon image with the rocket ship in the eye. Thank you very much, Rita Creek. I appreciate it. Emma was going to be Larry's replacement. Yeah, so Emma Sitko was going to play Harry, Larry's brother, and then Mo had a stroke. And so I think they spent one day, took a couple pictures. There might have been a script developed or a treatment developed, if I remember right. But, they never did anything beyond that because then I think Mo got sick and died. So, but anyway, thanks so much for joining me, guys. I hope you had a lot of fun. I hope that was worth it because now that I've kind of outed myself, I might get in a lot of trouble for buying that script that I shouldn't have bought. It was well worth it to me, but, I don't know. And I have some other stuff to share. And I'm just going to keep looking. I'm going to keep looking. I'm going to get what I can when I can for you guys, as I always do. And all your support helps. Just watching, even just watching. How about the Stooges as babies, like big babies? I want to do an episode where they babysit. Can you do Jackie Gleason? How sweet it is. It's funny. I mean, I won't attempt to do it right now. Me and Dermot, he makes a great Norton, and we play the honeymooners when we're just the two of me are alone. Am I leaving? We've been on 2 hours, Samuel. No, should I say we're still talking Stooges? I love doing Jackie Gleason. I was watching the Seinfeld behind the scenes something the other day, and George Costanza, Jason Alexander was talking about. I think he was talking to Larry David about doing one of the things, and he was like, no, it's not like it's like he's like, you got to give it the full Gleason, and I was like, oh my goodness, Costanza steals so much from Gleason, and I never noticed. I mean, he literally made it his own, right? But it was like, and when he did it, after he said the Gleason and he did it, it was so George Costanza, but it was also so dead on Jackie Gleason. It was kind of amazing. And I kind of feel the same way with, with Curly and Lou Costello, right? They did a lot of the same bits. And I don't know if Lou stole them, but, I don't know if, I definitely don't consider he stole them, but, he made things his own. They all did. They all stole from each other and did their own thing with it and made it their own. And away we go. Oh boy, you dirty you. Can you do Lou Costello? No. I used to be able to do Oliver Hardy really good. He was my guy. I'd have to practice before I start doing these other guys. Dermot could turn it on and he could do George Burns and he could do oh man, who's his he had a really famous teacher. I can't think of his name now. But the Don Knotts, he could do great Don Knotts, Chico and Harpo. But I can't turn it on like he does. Dick Van Dyke does a great Stan Laurel. Yeah. Stan Laurel said if anybody should play me, I want it to be Dick Van Dyke. Oh, Alfred, have you seen Joe Alasky as Gleason? In what? Joe Alasky? Have you seen Joe Alasky as Gleason? No. Where? What? I want to know about this. I mean, same with Kramer. I feel like a lot of her personality is based on Shemp. Interesting. They love the Stooges, those guys. And Larry David's a huge Stooges fan. Jackie Coogan, his Uncle Fester, is very curly, like, yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Yeah, I totally think he stole Curly. I mean, who? Joe Lasky cartoon, Freakazoid. No, I gotta look that up. I can do a great impression of Hot Dog, Ms. Doubtfire. Have you ever laughed? Have you ever laughed hard at a picture? What do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah, I laugh a lot. If I find something funny, I let it rip. I don't care. So what else for the Stooges? Stoogerama's coming out soon. We got a new book coming out, or we got a book that just came out. You know, Stooges still live, man. Would you say Jerry Seinfeld was like Shemp? No, Jerry Seinfeld he's much too of a straight man. He's more Bud Abbott than anybody. Take care of yourself. Thank you, guys. What's Stoogerama? Oh, Jamie, come on. Stoogerama is a new DVD set coming out, which is the remastered Three Stooges biography that went on the biography channel. And like 8 hours of bonus footage, stuff you've never seen before. So more details coming soon, but you're going to be very happy, Stooge fans. Joe Besser was a hoot playing a third Stooge. You know what? Joe Besser was a hoot, and him and Shemp were in Africa Screams. And I have like the restored, remastered Blu-ray of Africa Screams, and I thought we should get, because I don't think Chandler's ever seen it, and her grandmother was on set, and I think we should do a watch party, and I think we should make them watch it. At least Chandler watch it, and we should watch that together because Shemp's hilarious in it, Besser's hilarious, and of course, Abbott and Costello are hilarious. Just look up Joe Lasky doing Jackie Gleason. He also did Jackie Gleason in a series, Out of This World. Look it up. I am going to look that up. Thank you for letting me know. I'm going to look that up. I'm going to write it down right now. Joe Lasky, Jackie Gleason. Hold on, I'm not going to be able to see you guys. You know, I read somewhere, I'm trying to think of where. Somebody told me, maybe Shemp's daughter-in-law told me that Shemp loved Jackie Gleason. Shemp thought Jackie Gleason was really funny. I have to go back and watch. I did an interview with her, and I haven't posted it, guys. I have so much for you guys, and just being able to do this once a week is so hard, trying to, you know, juggle everything. I wish I could do this every day. If I could give you guys everything that we have that we want to show you, we would be going nonstop. And I keep trying. I'm doing my best. The Three Stooges cooking show. Yeah, I thought of that actually. I totally want to do a Three Stooges cooking show. We have a lot of ideas like that we want to do. Handyman shows and stuff like that, little bits. And I think we should go live as the Stooges every once in a while with you. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. There's a very tiny chance that at the last minute I'm going to do a Three Stooges live painting tomorrow night, but it's probably not likely, so it's going to be a couple weeks. But we'll get back to it, and I'd like to be consistent. Friday nights hang out with Stooges and painting. Thursday night Stooge Talk Live. Bonus Stooges when anything happens or we just, you know, feel like it. And more videos to upload and send to you guys. Podcast coming soon. Shorts coming soon. All kinds of stuff coming soon. We absolutely love you. Brad's going to be here next week. About time to bring him back again. And we'll be seeing you soon. Woo-hoo! Love you all. Stay Stoogey. Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo!